we can be official. Okay, well, hi everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for this week's Beyond the Cloud. Hopefully we can get this live on Facebook soon. If not, you're probably watching the replay if you're not with us live on Zoom. So it's, of course, hashtag Freestyling Friday, hashtag Unscripted Fun, and I actually wanted to do a little bit of a change up. It's been getting a little kind of overwhelming with everything else that I'm juggling to try to make sure that I have co-hosts every week. So I thought, well, let's just do this different. We have enough of us that join us. I was at first worried about a co-host of somebody joining us. We've got enough that are joining us every week. So everybody is officially a co-host every week and that joins us live. So what I thought we could do is, rather than going on through a full introduction of ourselves, because for everybody who's here every week, that's going to get very long and boring to people who are listening. So maybe we can just do a quick introduction in case it's somebody's first time. And then every week we'll have a different question that we can answer, something fun, like, you know, what's your favorite food, or what's your favorite day of the week, or what's your favorite something. So I hope everybody's in agreement with that. And of course, anybody who you can keep yourself muted. I'm just adding anybody who joins us live. I add you in as a panelist. It's fine to keep yourself muted. You interact when you want. Don't interact when you don't want. Don't feel any pressure. It's Friday. You're not supposed to feel pressure. So I will start. I am Tanya Hiltz from Cloud Bookkeeping Services and Tanya's Bookkeepers Bootcamp. And why don't we go with favorite food? So my favorite food, French onion soup. If who would like to go next? Do we want to go alphabetically? Do we just want to have people jump in?
Since I'm the next one on the box. Hi, I'm Lillian Larson, and I'm from Boston in the U.S. I have been in my bookkeeping business now, I think it's about 15 years. And my favorite food is, without a doubt, ice cream. I could eat it 24/7, 365 days a year.
Okay, I might have to change or ask you.
I was thinking that too as soon as she said ice cream.
All right, well, Diane, did you want to go next?
Sure. I'm Diane Mueller, and I have a business called SOMA, Small Business Solutions, and I am in Gibsons, British Columbia, which is on the Sunshine Coast, which means I have to take a ferry everywhere I go because it is on the mainland. It's not an island. People think it's an island. It's not. It is on the mainland, but there are no roads here to get here. So I take a ferry back and forth. But it is 9 nautical miles from Vancouver. So very close to Vancouver. My favorite food, I don't think it's a food, but I eat it way too much, and that is gummy bears.
That's good too.
They're pretty awesome though.
They are. I have to stop myself from buying them because they're kind of like potato chips or something with me. If they're in the house, I just eat them. So, yeah.
You know what? Big Feet do that with me. Those Big Feet candies, I love those. Very similar. I get that. My daughter went to the bulk barn and brought home a bunch the other day, and I all of a sudden I looked down. I'm like, I ate half the bag. I'm like, take these away. I don't want them.
Yes, exactly. It's the thing that my grandson buys me for any occasion that's to do with grandma.
So in other words,
whatever. Oh, I know. I'll buy her some gummy bears. She loves those.
So whenever we come visit your office, we will bring you gummy bears, and you'll be like, stop visiting. I've got many.
Exactly.
Awesome.
So that's me.
Awesome. Okay, who's next? Jessica, Lana?
I'm Jessica. I'm from sunny, well, not currently sunny, Florida. And my favorite food has changed recently. This week it would have to be tacos. I like them all types. I could have them for all meals, and I just don't seem to have enough tacos right now.
Tacos, I like those too.
I do too, yeah. She's the only decent eater out of all of us so far.
Well, French onion soup. I'm getting in my head.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're right.
Onions.
All right, sorry. I'm corrected.
It's really easy to make. It just takes a long time to make. It's like 8 hours to simmer, so we don't do much.
So I'll go.
Okay.
I'm Lana, obviously. Rain City Accounting Services. I'm in North Vancouver, BC. I've been bookkeeper since 2012 is when I started my company, but I've been doing it for a hell of a lot longer than that. My favorite food is bacon. Bacon, anything. Anything. It could be ribs, bacon, bacon wrapped turkey, bacon wrapped anything. Yeah, that's my favorite food. Bacon wrapped donuts, bacon wrapped anything.
I love all of your favorite foods.
I'm getting hungry now.
I know, right? It's good that it's almost, I guess it's only it's not even like, it's still several hours away from dinner time, even for us on the East Coast.
Lunchtime now here.
Oh, my goodness. All right. So I have got somebody in chat, Martha. So she still doesn't have her video working, but she'd still like to participate. So her name is Martha. Her company is the Number Factory, and she's been in business for 10 years. And she was in corporate accounting from 1981 onwards. And her favorite food is milk chocolate.
Mm.
Yeah, you know what? This was dangerous because, I'm like, I want to go to a buffet place that has everything else. And Martha lives in Washington State. That's awesome. Thank you. Perfect. And then I'm not sure if Bori is there. Oh, she says an island west of Seattle. So she's it's actually an island, not just part of the mainland, but.
Hello.
Surrounded by water.
So she wouldn't be too far south. Yeah, Bainbridge Island.
Yes, she's really close.
Yeah. From you then, Diane, a couple of hours maybe at most. All right. Bori, you've unmuted yourself.
Yes, hello everybody. My name is Bori and I'm located in Burnaby. This is very close to downtown Vancouver, BC. And I provide the bookkeeping services and year-end preparation for corporate clients and personal returns. I don't have a favorite food.
You just like all food?
That's all from me.
Awesome, thank you. All right, well, we were actually just kind of chatting while I guess we were trying to get everything on, and I would love to hear more because I only heard just a sliver and we weren't recording them, so nobody else would have heard about the kudos to Jessica that Lillian pointed out. So I don't know, Lillian, if you want to say that, so that way Jessica doesn't have to feel like she's tooting her own horn, even though that's fully welcome here. We should do that more often.
Well, I think we should hear from Jessica. She's from what I understand, she's been on 2 of these podcasts, so quite an honor.
So you can do a little introduction to it like you did. So Jessica, what happened?
Well,
so that we can all share.
Over the past year, I've had the honor of being on several industry podcasts, like the Growing Your Firm podcast. Most recently, I've been in the Successful Bookkeeper podcast with Michael Palmer, which was a total fangirl moment for me because I've been a listener for years and I've never in a million years imagined that I would be invited as a guest. So I still haven't even listened to the episode, but I look forward to it.
You were there to listen to the replay yet, right?
I have an idea what I said.
What was the topic?
I think we talk about a little bit of everything, but I think what he ended up using as a title was about empowering the clients. But I remember talking about, my journey, how I got started, the challenges and pain points that I went at growing my business, and how I ended up writing a book to help my ideal client and how that has helped my business in return. And the bottom line is, what sets me apart is how I not only just helping the clients with compliance, but I'm empowering them to understand their financial situations so they can make informed decisions and tweak as they go so that they can maximize their business. And actually, because I work with startups and the statistics are working against them, I try to help them beat the odds to survive past the 5-year mark and actually be profitable.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great. That's great that you were there. So which podcast? You said you've been on 2 of them recently.
I was in the Growing Your Firm podcast with David Costello at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
then most recently the Successful Bookkeeper podcast. And then last year, I think the episode actually aired earlier this year. I am trying to remember the name of it. I'm blanking out right now.
I'll cut that out if you want.
It's a lesser known podcast put on by the company Patriot Payroll. I think I was the second guest ever. So.
Awesome. Very cool.
And I'm trying to paste the link to her newest podcast episode. It was why it's important to empower your clients. So I'm going to put that in chat.
Awesome. And then once we finally get this up on Facebook, do you mind if I post that out for people?
Oh, I don't mind. I mean, it's all there for the world to find. I'm sure a lot of us subscribe to that email and get the notification.
Awesome. No, I didn't. So mind you, that said, I think the last 2 weeks I've kind of skimmed through my emails, and if it doesn't, if it looks like it's one of those, those kind of spammy ones that, I mean, I do like to see what's in them, but you know what I mean? Like, Insightful Accountant or, whatever that just kind of has, here's a bunch of stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'll catch that next time and go through and delete. So I might have, and if it looked like that, I might have deleted it.
Oh, I hear you. I've had to do the same this week with anything that looks like a newsletter or that I'm just in somebody's mailing list. I'm like, I have more important things to do later.
Yep. Absolutely.
So I have to say that Michael Palmer, Pure Bookkeeping, and David Costello's Jetpack Workflow podcast are usually very good because they're about other bookkeepers and other accountants and the things that work for them. And I always find it pretty interesting. It's about a half hour, I think, podcast, right, Jessica?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I've been on it twice too, and Michael's really great to work with, actually. Yeah.
Wow, 2 of us on here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not surprised about Diane, though. She's been leading and trying to empower this community. Again, like in the States, you don't know her as well as we do, but she's been like leading and trying to empower our community. I mean, for like as far back as, I mean, I've been involved in the community, 7 years, I think. And one of the first names I heard when I got in is Diane, even before we had met, just, Diane. And yeah.
Because I'm old. Been around a long time.
No. I'm not saying that. Powerhouse. You're leading.
I hope that that's, if you can be remembered by anything, I hope I'm remembered fondly as kind of being the mother of bookkeeping in Canada and helping other bookkeepers, because that's certainly been my total focus since at least 2007 when I started IPBC.
Yeah.
Great legacy you're building.
Thank you very much, Jessica. I'm not building it anymore, though. I'm not involved anymore. It stands on its own now. It's doing really well. It certainly was a lot of hard work for 10 years, but now it's standing all on its own and doing well, which is great.
That's great. Well, thanks to your solid foundation. Otherwise, I couldn't stand.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we didn't have really anything here. I mean, there's that other one.
There was CBA.
Or CBA, yes.
CBA, yes. And they were around back then. But, they just weren't doing things as professional as I certainly thought that they needed to be to actually grow a organization that was going to be nationwide.
Yep.
And report to bookkeepers as members, because that's what IPBC is, right? It's was developed by bookkeepers for bookkeepers.
Right.
So it's more grassroots, but very professionally done. And now we have staff and that look after it all. And so, yeah.
And then to, of course, bring out with the designation to try to,
Yes.
So look at us. We're not data entry. We are, professionals. And that was, I mean, that's huge. So
yeah, that was one of the big milestones. We did that in the second year. Marge and I wrote, and Shelley, these people that I'm talking about. We wrote the first exam for CPBs to take. It's been rewritten 4 or 5 times, and each time we've been the ones involved doing it. So it's been great. So that plus now the tier system that we have for all bookkeepers to be able to start wherever they are. They could be new and not have a lot of experience and slot themselves into the tier system and then eventually take the big exam to be a CPB.
Yep.
So yeah, and getting the ethics and discipline stuff all sorted out. All of that was pretty heavy duty stuff to do the first 10 years or so, and put it all in place, and the CEC program and all of that stuff. But it's all up and running now.
Yeah, well, and it is, and you've definitely, as in my opinion, and I think I speak for, most of the, I can't say speak for everybody. I would like to think I speak for everybody that yeah, it's it has really elevated our status from data entry, because that's not all we do.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that's the way it was perceived. So, and not just from clients, we're still changing that, but within other parts of our industry, a lot of
and gaining our own confidence and all of that. It's not a coincidence by any means that it is a certified professional bookkeeper, CPB, or that the name of it is the Institute of Professional Bookkeepers of Canada. That was all done purposely to have that raise awareness and also raise our status, right?
Yeah. Now, and you guys have something very similar in the States too, right? But that's been around probably for quite some time. It has many, many more members, of course, because there's many, many more of you.
There are three major organizations. There's AIPB, the American Institute of Professional Bookkeepers, that has been around since 1987, and they have a certification program. Then there's another one, I will mess up the alphabet soup, NACPB, I think.
I think that's
National Association. And then there's ICB USA, which is like the smaller one, which is the branch of an international organization.
That's right, exactly. Yeah, ICB I know well, actually.
Yeah, and that's the one that I know that I recognize for them.
Yeah, because they did actually come out to a few of our conferences. You'll remember, Tanya, that and they were the ones that actually awarded me the Luca Award that I went to England to get. Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
See, so since 1987 in Canada, it took a powerhouse, of course, like Diane Mueller, to get something up for us 20 years later. A little behind the times, I guess, obviously, but
yes, we were.
I think we've caught up.
It was time.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's working well now. So.
Yeah, well, I know there's the new boards. There are 4 new spots on the board. They just put that out this week, and
yes, and your name is on there. I noticed.
It is.
I will be happy to put my vote next to your name.
Well,
very happy.
Yeah, I think it's and hopefully I want to try to give back. So if I do get in, hopefully I can help to try to get some change and keep moving forward. And
the elections are just in a couple of weeks, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Try to do you proud if I get in, Diane.
Yes, I will definitely be putting a check mark there.
Can we vote?
Yes.
Yeah, any member can vote, and you'll get a email from IPBC allowing you to vote. And you get, I think it's 2 days that they leave it open that you can vote for the members. And they have the people that are running on the website right now. Yeah. There's actually about
8. I think there's 8 in total. I know there's at least.
And there's 4 positions available for this year. So.
Yeah, and at least one is running for, because I didn't recognize all the names, but I know at least one is running for a second term, I guess.
Yes, that would be Lynn.
Yes.
Lynn James, yes. She has already been on the board for a whole term, 3 years. And you're allowed to sit on the board for 3 3-year terms.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, that's good, because it kind of forces a little, some mixed blood, some change of things, because, with new people come new ideas.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I ask then, Lillian and Jessica for the States, or Martha, even if you want to pipe in on the chat there, are you guys, are your bookkeeping associations in the States, are they very active? Are they, just curious about a comparison.
It really varies by organization. I am a member of AIPB and ICB USA. AIPB is active in terms of they reach out to the membership constantly. I get a monthly newsletter that has very valuable information. They publish materials that are very helpful for me in the profession, but they don't really plan events or conferences or anything like that. ICB USA used to be very active a couple of years ago, and then a key person in the organization left, and ever since then it's been crickets. So much so to the point that when I renewed my membership in July, it still shows up processing. I haven't gotten anything. I sent them an email. I haven't heard back. And this conversation actually reminded me, I need to call them, because why am I paying dues if they're just taking the money and I'm not getting anything in return? The other organization I am not a member of, so I do know that they have a lot of very valuable training materials. I've taken some of their training in the past, but I don't know exactly what they're doing currently. Maybe Lillian or Martha will know.
No, I myself as well. I was part of the American Institute for Professional Bookkeepers, but and they did have great material. I have their books, gone through the testing, but it's great information. But I was really looking before this to be, kind of like involved with either meetings or conferences of some sort. I really wanted to. As you all know, it can be a little isolating, and really be able to share experiences with other bookkeepers. So I'm no longer a member. I've branched out to a few other things, and Tanya's one of them. So this has been super fabulous. And for me now, it's just, so I don't see myself.
Lillian, you could always come up to our conference.
I know, I'm really thinking about it, Diane.
Yeah,
I've got my passport ready.
Yeah, it's in Ottawa this year, and it's an amazing conference for 3 days. Yes.
Now, do you think that the information is a little different for the U.S. than for Canada, or would I still be able to get enough out of it?
90% of it would be very relevant to you. There might be 10% where we actually have some sessions where the Canadian Revenue Agency is involved to give us information about, any changes in GST and that, our tax system, but 90% of it would be very relevant.
Yep. I'd say just, there's avoid the tax ones, the Canada Revenue, and anything on payroll.
Yeah.
Those would be, but again, 90%. It's just all general. We both follow GAAP. So.
Oh, great. I will have to message you, Diane, later, because I would very much be interested in going to that.
Absolutely. I'd love to
send you the link.
I'll be there.
Thank you.
Actually, why don't I just look it up and post it now?
Yes, that's a good idea.
Handy because I've had enough people tell me I need to go, so I just posted it. I think it posted it privately to somebody else, so I'm posting it again to everybody.
Oh, great!
I've had so many people telling me I have to go to Canada.
Yes, come to Canada.
Do you think you would come and join us this year?
Oh, I would love to, but my circumstances, unless there's a reason for my husband and my kids to join me, the circumstances of how I'm set up, I don't get to visit conferences in person. So in the past few years, I attend all the virtual conferences.
Right. Well, you know what? You're still, virtual. It's a good thing that there's virtual conferences. There's a fair amount of them out, so that you can attend that and still get that and not be able to go, because it is hard for some people to be able to, to shut down and go, because we're leaving Tuesday at noon, and we're only a 3-hour drive, 2.5 to 3 hour drive. We're leaving on Tuesday at noon. We're not back until Saturday, and I bring the whole staff. Whenever it's a local one, we all go. And whenever we travel, it's kind of just, the top 3 of us, right? So
we do that, it's in the East one year and then in the West the next year, so that it does make it a little bit easier for people that they can at least attend every second year if they don't have the time or finances to fly somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. But then if you make friends on the West and you only go to the East ones, and then you miss seeing them. So yes. Yeah. But we travel, we fly to them. We like them, the education. We go for boot camp as well too, but the education, I think it's really important to take the team. So normally it's just, well, I was thinking just take the full-time employees, but the part-time ones, I mean, hopefully Jen will be full-time by next year anyway, but it's her first year. She's just started. She's new. I want her to see the excitement. So this year she's coming with us to both IPBC and Toronto. So because of course we're driving, it's hotel room. Make sure I've got enough hotel rooms for everybody, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
great idea. Oh,
It's the excitement. They get the excitement and whatnot. So
Sounds like someone else is excited too out there.
Yes.
oh, you're still muted, Diane. No, still muted. Oh, maybe she knows she's muted. Okay. Oh, she's still
Talking to her buddy.
I wasn't sure if she was talking to us. I'm just glad it's not Rosie.
Okay, Rosie.
Yeah, she's quiet. She's quiet today, so.
Who's going to QuickBooks Connect in San Jose?
I will be there. I'll be bringing Leanne and Sandra too. So we've just booked our hotel. We just were talking about that today. But what's going to be happening actually, so if anybody, when this replay is out there, if anybody's watching the replay, excuse me, Rhonda Lynn Corlick is going to come up, and we're going to set up something so that anybody who purchased her workbook will be able to get in for free. If not, it'll just be a small fee to just kind of cover costs, room rentals and stuff. The day before the conference, excuse me, we can get in and meet with her and actually have a couple of hour session. She's kind of still putting it together right now in the beginning stages, so we don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but it'll be focused on cash flow. So that'll be really exciting. So she says there's room for about 20. So she says first off, she's going to open it to the boot campers that are there, but I know there's not 20 of us that are going to be there. So she says, yep, she's got room for 20. So if anybody out there is interested, reach out to me. I will definitely get that information.
Have you received the workbook yet?
No, it's on its way. I do know it's on its way. It got stuck in customs. I got a little email yesterday saying I had to pay $66.
Oh my God.
I'm like, oh my God.
Oh Lord.
So I expect it'll probably be here the beginning of next week. They emailed me this morning and said it was, waiting to go out now. So I think it was stuck in Toronto. So it should be here Monday.
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting the workbook. What made you get it?
There's 300 pages or over 300 pages of scenarios and case studies and scripts that she follows. And so I thought that was really interesting to be able to see all of that. Everything that I know about her, all of our conversations, she's just so passionate about the cash flow. She really knows what she's talking about. And I've ordered her book, and I love the book, and I love the way that she writes through that and, talks through the stories and whatnot. It just really spoke to me. So I thought, you know what? Let's go ahead. She offered the discount to the boot campers. I thought, you know what, why not? Then I end up purchasing the video, like I said in my email to you. I think I emailed you, and then and then I got the one-on-one with her. So that ended up costing me $7.99 Canadian, and yeah, I think it's well worth it. I can't guarantee it until I get it, but knowing her and the products that she puts in, the quality, and how firmly she believes in the education, and she really, really just wants to educate people on how to do this properly and how to have those conversations, that I felt it would be worth it. It was a gamble for me.
Okay.
I felt it would be, a very, very good, $800 spent. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking about it myself. I read a couple of her books, and I love them. She's good. She's easy to read, easy to understand.
Yeah, and she knows her stuff. I mean, she definitely knows her stuff, and she's good at it. And and again, an advocate for the client knowing their business, and for us knowing how to help them.
Right.
So, yeah. So when it's in, I will definitely share it out. But
oh, interesting. I just reading that Martha's favorite food is milk, chocolate milk.
Yes, milk chocolate. Yes, I did read that out.
Ah.
Yeah, milk chocolate.
Ah.
Which is very yummy too. Or you know what? You combine it, milk chocolate ice cream. Combine it for you.
Oh yeah.
I love
if I don't have ice cream, I'll take the milk chocolate.
Yeah, chocolate ice cream is my favorite. Actually, I like dark chocolate over milk chocolate. I really love the dark. Yeah. So, but chocolate is chocolate. Chocolate is great. And chocolate ice cream is great. And then,
Yes.
you know, chocolate ice cream. Oh yeah, because Lily likes ice cream. Leanna was bacon. So for Leanna, chocolate ice cream with sprinkle some bacon on it. And some gummy bears for Diane.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's
Jessica.
all
There we go.
kinds of bacon things out there for Leanna. I mean, you can buy everything now with bacon flavor. It's crazy.
Mhm.
So you're not the only one that loves bacon, obviously. There's quite a market for bacon lovers.
I do love bacon. I could almost, you know what, I'd say if it wasn't for bacon and for, bacon and ham. I like Black Forest ham. So if it wasn't for the two of them, I could actually go vegetarian.
Ooh, they're holding you back.
It is. It really is. It's that pig. And I don't like all of the pig, but yeah, and I like a little bit of beef, but I could do without my beef. I don't really eat a lot. I mean, you know, ground beef goes into a lot of what we eat, but I could take it or leave it. If I'm eating my steaks, I only like the tenderloin. I don't like anything fatty. Denise, are you? Wow. Okay, I've not seen that before.
Products I see now with bacon in it.
Oh my God.
Is it any good?
It's awesome.
Really?
Oh my gosh.
So what is it? It's just mayonnaise with bacon flavor.
Oh, wow.
Dipping
Bacon-aise.
sauce. Wow. Only in Canada, right?
Free.
the land of maple syrup on everything and bacon. And of course, got to put your maple syrup on your bacon.
Guess where I get it from?
Oh, I saw hickory there. Does it come from Hickory Farms?
It's from Goats on the Roof. That's where I have to get it from.
Oh,
So it's local, is it?
You know, Diana.
I know Goats on the Roof.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, next time I'm out, Leanna, I'm going to get you to grab me one. I'm going to bring it back. My sister would love that.
Absolutely.
I don't need a lot. I don't
buy
need
a piece at a time.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I don't need much mayonnaise. Personally, if I'm going to be one of those ones, I'm just going to eat a pile of bacon. Like, I go to the breakfast buffets. I love breakfast buffets. I get a little bit of eggs and a pile of bacon. And you know what? As far as I'm concerned, I eat like the weight of it just in bacon alone, right?
Get your money's worth through the bacon.
Exactly.
Bacon.
Yeah, a little bit of eggs, bacon, and then I, ended up with a little bit of fruit. So I got to throw the fruit in there, but it's, all bacon.
Mm.
Yeah, that's crazy though, that bacon-aise. Oh my gosh.
Oh, well.
All right. So I guess we've all had all kinds of topics. Did anybody have any questions that they wanted to throw out today? Oh, 8. I think we've got some more attendees to bring in.
Because they all want to talk about bacon.
Sorry. I do have a question.
Okay.
Does anybody use Square?
Yes.
This much.
I'm sorry to you.
I use it.
Well, I have a client that uses it, and we have a huge problem. And I'm spending a huge amount of time that creating invoices with the customer's name, and then she has it imported into QBO, obviously, as well because of the Square fees and stuff like that. And then I'm having to move it. Me and Melanie in Maui had set up a Zapier thing and thinking that it would work, but it didn't. A credit memo to each one. And it sort of was picking and choosing the wrong amounts. So I had to delete the Zapier integration there. But does anybody else have any thoughts on how to, because now I'm having to delete every Square payment and deposit and stuff like that. Does anybody have a workaround?
So it's automatically connected to QBO, and every time a sale goes through Square, it shows up in your bank feed in QBO.
The whole deposit.
The whole so the day's deposit, right?
Yeah,
so that's kind of an easy one. You can just do a transfer, right?
No, so I'm unclicking the Square amount and then re-putting it to the actual customer, because she's creating the actual invoice that has the sales tax, because the Square doesn't have the sales tax.
The Square doesn't have the sales tax.
Yeah, sales tax have, like, the Square doesn't actually charge out the tax amount.
Okay, how about Flowless? Flowless is actually new. I haven't gotten to actually play with it myself. It's a fairly new app. I'm using their business importer, which is really exciting to use.
Wanted you to bring that up. Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Thank you. Yeah, because I had started using Business Importer right before the call, and it was really, really exciting. Anyway, it's kind of like a Sand Excel Excel importer, but it just, yeah. I'll get into that after. Back to Flowless. So Flowless is actually, and so they've got 3 sets of software. So Flowless, again, I haven't played with it, but Flowless is meant to take those things. If you have it going into a clearing account from Square, it should split everything out. Now, I have different issues with Square, which is why I don't like it, because it actually is duplicating the sales in there. So I'm having to then back that out with a regular journal entry. But Flowless can split. It worked great with Stripe. Paul Burns, I think, put something on, one of the Facebook groups, or a few of them. I think it might have been just QBHQ and one of the, maybe Get Into It Alberta. I don't know if it was in the BC one as well, but that he actually had used that, set it up, and it actually recognizes it. You just tell it to what percentage is split. So Flowless is kind of like Zapier using if-then rules. So it would say when you connect it into it would say, if Square payment comes in, then deposit into here and split, this percentage over into here. So it's kind of one of those things. So it'll pull it out automatically, put it in as an entry, and boom. And he loved it. He said it worked beautiful for him. So,
And what is it called?
It's called Flowless. Flowless.
I'm sorry, FLOW?
LESS.
Oh, Flowless. Okay.
Flowless. Yep.
Like, I did look into it, but it wasn't picking up the refunds. It wasn't picking up, like, so it wasn't picking up refunds of the Square.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I wonder if that would have to be with a different rule then.
Yeah.
Because I can get you directly in touch with like one of the head guys there, because he's the one who I actually met him in San Jose through Richard Roper Roberts.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, so I'll forward you that email, or I'll connect you. I'll introduce you guys by email. Yeah, and hopefully that can help, because Flowless looks really good. Like I say, I haven't had a chance to play myself, but I'm really excited and I can't wait to get into it. We're just dealing with Business Importer, because where that's supposed to be really cool is that you can have clients. So it worked first off a little easier than the Excel and the Excel importer through Sassant. I was able to, within 6 minutes, I think, I had signed in, only saw just a brief demo, which we were on the line for 30 minutes, and he demoed 3 products. So it was literally only 10 minutes, and much of that, there were some technology issues, so it didn't work. Didn't work so well. But then what I did is, again, about 6 minutes, I went in, figured it out, did the setup, brought in 2 months of invoices and 2 months of payments, all went in and double checked, and it went in beautifully. And I did have to go back and reset once in 6 minutes. I was really impressed. So now what's really cool with that is, other than being a really easy setup, it can sync automatically with Google Drive. So if you've got clients who, again, are pulling it out because their system isn't syncing with QBO, you can have them just update. You can set up a template, they can update it, and you can set up automatically for Business Importer to run same day of every week or every day. And it'll actually go through and it can tell what's duplicates and what's not based on the transaction ID number, and it'll skip right over those. So you don't have to do anything. You can just have the client upload it, have it sync, and then you get an email once everything has synced up, and it'll tell you that, you know, it brought in X number of transactions and all of them, you know, were fine, or there was one error, and it'll tell you which one errored. Like, it does that. It's beautiful. I can't say enough about it.
So Leanna, I just opened up the client that they use Square.
Yeah. And
I have GST.
In your Square.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask the same thing because I work with Stripe and PayPal and Square and all of that, and sales tax is always included with wherever the sale is coming from, if it's Shopify, Amazon. So those should be coming in from your Square side.
Yeah, and there should be a separate report showing the taxes too.
If you export anything from there, it's going to go by order, and all the details of the order, including sales tax, gift certificate, shipping, discounts, all of that is on the line item. So
Yeah,
I don't understand why they're not bringing sales tax in. That's all.
There's no sales tax on any of it. It's a restaurant.
Okay. Have
Well,
they turned on the sales tax feature in Square?
but the thing is, it's not showing up like it's just Square customer. It's not.
Yeah, that's right. That's because I just actually opened one up, and I have coming through from Square invoice number SQ, so I know it's Square. You know, dash whatever the number is, and then it just says Square customer.
Mm-hmm.
And the line item says, in this particular case, $10 plus GST at 50 cents, $10.50.
Yeah, that's normal.
Mm-hmm.
How would you know what customer that is?
In this particular case, we don't track the individual customers. This happens to be a company that just takes Square on the spot for a lot of people that are going on a tour. So they're not interested in tracking each individual. So it coming in as Square customer is totally fine. But the GST is there.
Yeah. Well, this client wants to know who they are because they have recurring customers.
Right. So then you would end up having to download the statement from Square that shows the customer's name, matching up the invoice here, coming in and actually changing the customer from Square customer to the actual customer's name.
Yeah.
Should be a bit of work for sure. Yes.
But actually, just import it. It's not a bit of work. It takes minutes.
Oh, so you import it. You don't actually allow it to connect to QBO?
No, I don't connect it. I just run it from the bank feeds, and I go into whatever avenue, whatever channel for the revenue, so Stripe or Square or PayPal, and I import that information as a sales receipt by customer if you want it that way, or just a general sales receipt.
Right.
But I just do the import from Cesant, and it's instant. I can do it. I can do a customer. I got one client that does about 1,500 transactions. I can do it in 15 minutes. Wow. And I balance per order. So I know exactly what's going on with sales tax because they have multiple sales tax nexus in multiple states.
Mm-hmm. GST and liquor tax as well. So it's and then they do billable as well, like from the liquor to the whenever they buy liquor, they put it to billable.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if they're running it from HubDoc and billing from that side and doing the entry, or you're just doing it from QuickBooks. You can mark it as the expense is billable, and then just create the invoice. But that I don't know how many transactions you're talking about on that side.
Probably over 5,000.
Well, that's a lot. Yeah, I automate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they're putting the receipts. Like I said, I don't know how you're processing to get those.
In Receipt Bank.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't used Receipt Bank, but HubDoc the same thing. But yeah, I'd automate it from the Receipt Bank side. Set it up so it's automatic for each one, and then process it directly in, and it'll match for the expense side. Yes.
And using Zasant.
Sasant, yes, I use that for everything.
Okay, I'll look into that one too.
Yeah, it's $10 a month.
Yeah,
I don't know how how much that is, but I like Sasant and I use that for everything.
Yeah, Flowless would be a different solution. So Business Importer is your Sasant, and they're same pricing, same everything.
Oh, cool. That's good.
Yeah. Because Business Importer uses the main difference is it uses from the Google document, and you can schedule it from the Google documents. Whereas I don't know if, as far as I know, Sasant doesn't have that right now. But otherwise, they're the same. They're setting up. They're pulling in.
Yeah, when you're dealing with volume, like she's got 5,000, that's a lot. So that's why I do it with Sasant and do it as an actual import. And I've set my imports where they just feed directly, and I can import 5,000 transactions in however long it takes the Wi-Fi to run it.
Right.
Yeah. And poof, it's done, and I balance sales tax and ready for quarterlies or monthlies, whichever it is.
So then, it's Deb, right? That's talking.
Yeah, it's Deb. Yeah, my camera has decided it doesn't want to work, so I'm audio only.
So Deb, when you do that and you bring them all in, you can bring them in by customer name then?
You can. If you want to do it that way, you can select your sales receipt to be by customer, and then it'll group it that way. But my clients, probably like what you were saying, Diane, with your clients, they don't care about the customer. They just want the sale. So I just put it to, my customer name is sync to QuickBooks, whichever the channel is. So if it's PayPal, if it's Stripe, whatever channel, authorized net that they're using, that's what my customer name is, so I can balance.
Right.
And then, but if they want to see the customer, you just bring in that customer, and it'll create a sales receipt for each one. Now remember, this is the problems with QuickBooks Online. It is not a database. So you have to take that into consideration, that at some point it is going to blow up when you're bringing in 5,000 transactions.
Yep.
So plan on 3 years of doing a whole brand new QuickBooks file online to go for those next 3 years. That's about all it can handle when you're putting in those kind of transactions. Right now I have one client that has 26,000 transactions. I'm running single transactions for each one, and I have not had any problems. But I know at some point that's going to come and bite me. And it's going to say, no, we can't handle it. Or QuickBooks is saying, you're using up so much storage. I don't do anything with HubDocs and bringing in receipts to show pictures. But they're going to say, you're using so much storage that we're going to start charging you extra for this client. I know that's coming down the pike.
Yeah.
But it hasn't happened today.
Right.
Yeah.
So then following through with that, once it's in QuickBooks, either by just one customer or by all of the individual customers, it goes in with the GST and the total. So then when it comes through on the bank feed, how do you match up all of those customers?
I take the all deposits. I have a QBO rule that all deposits that come in by those channels, one for PayPal, one for Stripe, one for Square, right on down the line, and they go into a bank holding account.
Yes.
And so I do a reconciliation for each channel, PayPal, whatever, on the reconciliation side, breaking out fees and whatever else goes on, refunds, returns, whatever's happening on the bank reconciliation portion.
Right.
That's
and then you
how
just
I balance.
transfer to the bank then when you get it, the right amount.
I do it as a QuickBook rule. It automatically posts it. I just go down in my feeds and hit them all as batch, select them all, and process. And they all balance in the bank account for each one.
Mm-hmm.
And I separate out, so I do the reports, and then I separate all the fees and any adjustments that channel made. Sometimes PayPal is the biggest issue because they hold funds. Shopify, they can hold funds for up to a day or two. The remainder, Stripe, it's usually direct within 24 hours. So you might, based on midnight timing, have 1 or 2 transactions held over. But I balance directly from the reports, for payouts, as the term goes, for Stripe, and balance to the fees directly. And that's how I do it.
So I don't know what the tax problem is. That sounds like there's just something in the back end of Square that's
not set up.
Not set up right.
Yeah.
Because I've opened 3 or 4 of them now, and this particular client doesn't have anywhere near that volume, but every single one of them has GST on it.
Yeah, it's probably the setup.
Yeah, it could be something in the back end then, I guess, obviously, because the only one that we've got, I don't think there's a problem with the tax, but like I say, no, it duplicates the sales coming in, which is a pain. But they won't disconnect it. I keep telling them disconnect it. We'll just, manually like put it or, have it sink in otherwise, but they won't listen.
So Tanya, I have a question. When Deb was saying about the data in QBO going to the limit, are they working on that for bigger limit or?
We used to have that problem with the desktop too, right?
Yeah,
it's not a database. They can't handle the volume of transactions.
At this stage, there's no front-facing talk or not talk that we've heard, but I agree with that it's probably just a matter of time. Excuse me. Before
they probably just tell you to go to a bigger program or something.
Or they'll build another one. Like if you look at what's been happening in the States, our levels are very different than the States. They've broken their levels down quite a bit more to say, okay, well, this is only for so many users here, and if you want more users, you go up here. Whereas us up here in Canada, when we're in wholesale, it's unlimited users. So they're breaking it down already very differently, and I think ultimately at the end of the day, we might not emulate exactly the way it is with the States, but the States does it first, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if things do change like that.
But different prices at different levels, as depending on how many customers you have and what features you use, and
the storage space, like Deb said, or the number of users, or any of that. I wouldn't be surprised to see that coming. But QBO is still fairly new. That and probably only maybe the last year to 2 years, really, are they really having a lot of these big, the big e-commerce that do have a lot of information coming in that they probably just haven't come up with that or experienced those issues yet. But I totally agree with Deb.
Down in the States, maybe Jessica knows this too. Are they not working on an advanced or an enterprise or something? Did I hear about?
There is a new version of QuickBooks. It's QuickBooks Online Advanced. That's about $150 a month, and it gives you more users. And right now, what they've done is they limited how many classes and locations you can have, and how many chart of account items you can have. And if you need more than that, you have to upgrade to Advanced. And it comes with other features that are nifty, like batch invoicing and phantom reporting, which I think is cool. Normally, that app is another $39 a month on its own, but it can be a pretty steep jump for some of the smaller customers that don't have the revenue to support such a large fee.
Yep.
That was released only a few months ago. I think back in April, maybe.
Yeah, I remember hearing about it. I know there's quite a few people that have said they really like it, but
yep.
I have one client that uses it, and I love it. And I wish some of my other clients could afford to upgrade.
Yeah, I think Hector did a video on it.
Yes, he has.
Well, Leanna, I hope that helps a little bit, that you've got a little place, you've got somewhere to go now and start checking things out and figuring it out.
Yeah, I thank you guys so much.
Yeah, I'm looking at Square now, and I went to the terminal to actually take a payment on a credit card, and the sales tax pops right up. So something is not set up on your side to take the sales tax.
Well, I think it's because she wants the customer name, and that's why we're having to delete the actual Square payments and invoices.
Well, no, within the Square setup, when she takes the card, whatever reader she's using has not had the settings set up for sales tax. The reader needs to be adjusted for sales tax. So whatever she's swiping the card with or keying it into, that reader needs to be set to accept sales tax. That's where it's falling.
Right, but then when it gets imported to the QuickBooks Online, then it's duplicating the tax amount, so we don't want that to happen.
I can't see how that's happening. That doesn't make sense to me.
Because she's creating the invoice as well in QuickBooks Online.
Well, yeah, that's why now
yeah.
you've got your duplication. She shouldn't be doing that. You do one or the other. You can't do both.
Right, and that's why I'm having to delete the Square invoices and payments.
Yes, right.
Okay, yeah.
And you would, I mean, my suggestion of opening it up and then changing, because you can do that. You can just go to customer on the drop down and then put in a new customer name and remove the Square customer. But for 5,000, no, you can't do that.
That's why you import it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're at 4:30, so this is it. And I've tried a few times. We did not make it on Facebook Live, so everybody will have to watch the recording. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on today. Anyway, I thank you very much for everybody who made it live. As always, I love to see the same faces. Like, I know who I can count on, so I'm not talking to myself here about myself. So that's awesome. And yeah, I loved that we were able to solve problems and find out all kinds of new information, and that's great. So
Cool.
Everybody have a very wonderful weekend.
You
Thanks,
guys,
Tanya.
And thank you.
Just to let you know, it's not 4:30 here. It's only 1:30, and I still have 3 hours of work.
2:30 where I am.
Me too,
4:30 Eastern.
Me too, Diane.
You're right. 4:30 Eastern.
We're working here. We'll
Yeah.
be working for another 3 hours.
Yeah.
All right. Well, have a very wonderful weekend, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Hi, guys.
Bye,
Thanks.
everybody.
Bye.